Broncos drafted Patrick Surtain with the 9th overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. And I love this pick for the Denver Broncos. Now, it is going to be an interesting story to follow over the next 3 to 5 years because the Broncos did pass on both Justin Fields and Mac Jones. So they're going to roll with Drew Lock for another year. And I actually, in the past, have endorsed Drew Lock. I think Drew Lock has some talent. But let's be real. Drew Lock has not shown a lot of flashes in the NFL. As of right now, he ranks among one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the NFL. So you're taking a big risk not taking Justin Fields or Mac Jones. And Teddy Bridgewater, don't get me started. You know, he's a good player, but he's not the future of the Broncos. Okay, he's just not. Now, with that being said, let's talk about Patrick Surtain. Because in the end, you do want to get your franchise quarterback right, but you also want to draft good players. And Patrick Surtain is a really good player, okay? And Patrick Surtain, the second, has a chance to make the Denver Broncos defense elite once again. He's going to be paired up with Kyle Fuller, Ronald Darby, Bryce Callahan, and Justin Simmons in that secondary at safety. Even though Justin Simmons, like I said, is a safety. Patrick Surtain's a corner. But the point is, that secondary has a lot of great playmakers. And people are going to say, well, the Broncos already have really good quarterbacks. Why they add another great corner? Well, because in the NFL, sometimes when you can add a strength to what's already a strength, that gives you a chance to have a special unit on your football team. Like, for example, the Washington football team last year had Montez Sweat and Durant Payne and Jonathan Allen and first-round picks on their defensive line. But that defensive line didn't get super-duper good until they added that game changer in Chase Young. In hindsight, it was the right pick. Same thing with the 49ers. They had DeForest Buckner, D Ford, all these guys on the defensive line, but Nick Bosa is the centerpiece to the puzzle that really made that 49ers defense go. You know, CeeDee Lamb, you add him to the Dallas Cowboys wide receiver core, all of a sudden the wide receiver core is really good to now potentially elite. Antonio Brown in Tampa Bay last year. Everyone said the Buccaneers don't need Antonio Brown. Turns out he was a big contributor in the Super Bowl for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this Broncos defense has a lot of talent. And I'm not going to go out on a limb and say this Broncos defense is going to be as talented as the no-fly zone was a couple of years ago when the Broncos won a Super Bowl in Peyton Manning's final year there as a Bronco. But this team has a lot of talent on defense. And this defense has a chance to be the most talented defense Denver's had since the no-fly zone. You still got Bradley Chubb and Von Miller to rush the passer. And you got all these guys in the back end of that secondary. Man, oh man. And like I said, you're in a division with Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and even if you think Derek Carr is really good, you're in a division with him. So, a lot of good quarterbacks in this division. You get a playmaker on defense. Patrick Surtain, he has a chance to be the piece to the puzzle that really makes this Broncos defense elite once again. I like the Broncos draft, and I like Patrick Surtain a lot, okay? Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.